Imagine this, your backyard empty right now. Could be the key to some extra income or extra space for your family, but how? They go by various nicknames, but the tiny but mighty spaces called additional dwelling units can solve some really big problems. Whether you're craving rental cash, multi-gen living, or just more room to thrive, MCAT Homes can turn your what if into why didn't I do this sooner? Let's welcome Yvonne, CEO of MCAT Homes. Hello, thanks for joining us today.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yes, okay, so who is MCAT Homes and what is an accessory dwelling unit, also known as an ADU?
So MCAT Homes is a construction company. We launched in 2020 and we specialize specifically in ADUs. That's what we build. That's the only thing we build. And an ADU, easiest thing to call it is a tiny home or a secondary home on your property. Additionally to your main dwelling unit.
Okay, this is awesome. So what does the process look like for someone who wants to build an ADU on their own property?
So it's a complicated process that we try to make as simple as we can. But once you're in contract with us, there's three main things that need to happen. You have your design phase where you figure out your floor plans, what type of building you want, how big, how many rooms. Then we go into permitting. Each ADU has to be permitted with the building department. And then the construction, which is the fun part. But it's these three main phases to get it done.
And it sounds like you help simplify that process for people, which is great.
Of course.
So what's the benefit of building an ADU and what does it solve for people?
We live in California. Home prices are through the roof.
Yes.
And it's cheaper to actually build an ADU than it is to sometimes buy a bigger home to get the same additional space that you would with building an ADU. But a big problem that we solve is, we like to say, MCAT Homes, we bring family together while maintaining independence and still building generational wealth. So ADUs add so much value to your property. You got grandparents who maybe can't afford to live by themselves anymore. And instead of putting them in a retirement home, bring them close together, build an ADU, bring money into your property, but also keep family together.
That's a great way when you mention the grandparents, the fact that they can be closer, which a lot of people do want. So where can people go to, or what makes you different from other ADU builders out there?
Well, we like to say at MCAT Homes, we've been building ADUs before it was the cool thing to do. You've probably seen this everywhere right now, ADUs, companies that build ADUs. But we started in 2020 with this one focus in mind, to build an amazing product. But we've been in the construction industry forever. We're not a kitchen remodeler turned ADU builder, but this is what we've been doing. I mean, I built them myself on site. Poured a foundation, built the frames. I was there from the very beginning where we built our first one to now where we build hundreds a year. Okay,
it's good to know. I mean, you're a part of that process. You know how it started out, so passionate about it.
Yes.
Why does it make sense to build an ADU instead of maybe purchasing a bigger home?
Well, like I said, one is ADU adds a lot more value to your property. It's usually a dollar for dollar added value to your property. And sometimes when you go to find that different home, you don't get the same neighborhood you're in. And maybe you love the space you're in, but you need more space. And so this is why you build an ADU. And if you do the math, it's cheaper to add an ADU to your property than it is to buy a bigger home and get the same additional square footage plus the hassle of it all. And this way you save money, you keep money in the family, which is great. You build generational wealth and you create rental income as well on that property. So now the bank doesn't just look at it as a single family home, but it looks at it as something that can produce passive income.
There we go. That generational wealth's really sticking with me. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course.
All right, to our viewers, an affordable dwelling unit can open up a world of possibilities. You can find out more by heading to mcatconstruction.com.